Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how easy it is to add authentication to your website using one account. So we're going to be building a simple website which consists of two pages, home and login. On the home page, user will be presented with a text, so he knows that he should log in to see the quote of the day. And once the user is logged in, he will be presented with the quote of the day. On the login page, there is a button that opens up one account application so the user can log in. The user can see the data that the website is requested, and once he proceeds, um, he is successfully logged in and he can see the quote of the day. And on the login page now he is able to log out. So that is what we're going to be building today, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to do using one account SDK. First of all, we're going to need to create a one account application. We can do it by clicking this button and filling out the information. And we can select which data we want to request from the user. And if there is no field for you to select and you need something else, for example work email or business email, we can simply add a field and select a type. Also you can choose whether it's required or not. So I already created an application for this tutorial and we're going to be using this. To keep things simple, I'm going to be using a starter kit called KYT, which provides us some nice boilerplate code, which I changed a little bit for our demo. And as you can see, we have login and home page. So the login component is very simple. We check if the user is authenticated and welcome the user and provide a button to log in. Also, if he's not authenticated, we provide the button so he can log in using one account. We can follow this documentation for to see how we add the button, and it could be div, button, or any other element, but we must include those classes, one account button and one account show, so our SDK can attach event listeners. So I'm gonna copy and paste some boilerplate code here, some code snippets, so you don't have to wait for me to type everything and just can follow. So first of all, we're gonna check if there's an access token. It means the user is authenticated, and we can just set the first name from the local storage and set authenticated true. And otherwise we're gonna continue and add our SDK. We're gonna import the SDK and add an event listener once the SDK is loaded and initialize it. Also, we're gonna check if the object is already present and initialize it. So this is the if-else statement for that. We do this because in React people can embed the same component twice or three times on the same page, which will call this function multiple times and add the library again and again, which we don't want to. So we do it in the if-else statement. Also in the init function, which is also taken from the documentation, it is the same, except that we provide our own external ID, which we can get from here. We can just copy external ID and paste it here, and then we are ready, actually almost ready. So after we initialize the library, we add event listener. Once the user is authenticated using one account application, we want to do something with it, right? So let us add onAuth method here, and once user authenticated using one account application, we set that the user is authenticated, set the first name, we get the data from our backend, which I'm going to show later on, and we get access token. We store those in the local storage so we can use it in other components as well. Our home component is even simpler. We just check if there is a quote, and if there is, we present the user with the quote of the day. Otherwise, we just show him that he needs to log in to see the quote. For this, I'm gonna add some code snippet just to make a fetch request. So since we already stored the access token in the local storage, we can retrieve it from there and make a post request to get the quote with the bearer token. Once we get the data, we can set the quote and it will be shown on the home page. So let's move to the server. First of all, we're going to need to add the SDK, and we can do it simply by running this npm install command, and we need to import it. And then let's paste our snippet code. So we're going to initialize the library first, and then we're going to add an endpoint. This is the same endpoint that we defined when we created the application. And then we add a middleware for one account middleware. So if the request object contains one account, it means that a user is authenticated and we can extract the data from this object. In this case, it's going to be first name. We only requested first name. It's a camel cased version of whatever we have here. So for example, if we added a custom field, actually let's call it business email, for example, then we can retrieve it by just changing it to a camel case. So this is going to be our business email. Let's keep it simple, and also if you make it optional, then you should be aware that the first name can be undefined. After that, we're going to create an access token using access token secret and return first name and the access token to the user, which we store in the local storage here and access it. Actually, we don't access first name, but only access token in the home component. So this is the quote endpoint we called from the home component, and which is protected by this authenticate GWT middleware, which is simply checks if there is a token in the header and verifies it using the same access token secret we used to create the access token, and then it returns the quote of the day. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you liked it and have a nice day.